everybody. We really wanted to talk about all the labels that you've seen: sugar-free, keto-friendly, diet approved, all that good stuff. But what if we told you that these healthy foods are actually hijacking your metabolism? They are messing with your gut, they're messing with your brain, they're actually creating more sugar cravings, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So the biggest offenders we're really going to be talking about in our masterclass, which is happening in a little bit. So we're going to get into that where we're getting back into basics. But today we really wanted to talk about sugar-free. We've talked about it so many times, but some women in our 90-day program, some of our members, people ask me all the time, because I get it. You're like me. You like the taste of sweet. Like, humans are wired to like the taste of sweet. And so we're like, oh, I don't want to give up that, but I know I need to give up sugar. And so we reach for sugar-free things. And you need to read those labels. That's what we want to dive into a little bit. What is the sweetness in that food? Because it is replaced by something like sugar-free chocolate. Somebody just sent to me the other day. I'm like, what is in it? So we had to look at the labels, and yes, there was some stevia, but there was a whole bunch of other stuff in it. So stevia, the sugar alcohols, erythritol, those are the things you can have in moderation a little bit if it doesn't mess with your gut. So you got to be in tune to see if it messes with your gut. But I call them the fake sugars, like the sucralose and those type of things, like Splenda. I call them the packets, right? Because they're still out there when you go to get coffee. What is it? Equal, Sweet and Low. Haven't seen those in forever, but Splenda I see a lot.
Yeah.
And I ate a lot. I've eaten a lot of Splenda. Like, before I knew what I was doing, because I love sweet and they're so much sweeter than sugar. So I was like getting that sweetness and I really loved it, but they are full of chemicals. And you really, really have to stay away from those.
You really do. And, in a lot of cases, you just don't realize. Like, I just had somebody yesterday who asked about coffee syrup. She thought it was very healthy for her. She thought it was great. And there were 8 ingredients on the list. And she asked what I thought about it. And I said, well, everything after water has got to go. Because water was the only organic ingredient, the only whole food. I mean,
Mm.
there's so much, especially when those of us with food allergies and intolerances, sensitivity, you have to be so careful because
Yeah.
what we think is healthy is those whole foods, the foods that your body innately and instinctively recognizes.
Yeah.
Our bodies don't recognize chemical.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't know what to do with it. It's
Yeah.
not an instinct. And we are an evolved species, but like our subconscious is still way back instinctive.
Yeah.
It still has that programming. And when you're trying to ditch the dairy, ditch the soy, ditch the other sensitivities, it can be really hard. It can be a very big challenge to try and figure out, is this healthy? Is this not? Because 9
Yeah.
times out of 10, the syrup bottle that we talked about yesterday, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Yep.
the coffee creamers that are non-dairy. Look at the labels.
Yeah.
The Mermaid Place. And I'm saying Mermaid Place because I don't want to be.
We don't want to get blocked. But yeah, I know. I'm like, oh, I said Splenda. Whoop. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Mermaid Place. Look at the non-dairy ingredients.
Yeah.
And the challenge with it is it's already expensive,
Yeah.
right? So the ingredients could be better. It's cheaper to make if you use the easier foods. It just is how it is. But I mean, the thing you don't realize is or a lot of people don't realize, not trying to target you guys, but the thing a lot of people don't realize is that just because it tastes sweet on the tongue,
Mm-hmm.
that is what your brain starts with. The mastication process is the first part of digestion. And if you've already got gut issues happening and your body tastes sweet, guess what it's going to crave?
Yeah.
Those little buggies in your gut that are having a nice little party and making you sick all the time, or exhausted or weak, or who the heck knows, you just know that you're off. That's where those sugar cravings are coming from. They're
Yeah.
the culprit.
Yeah. Yep. It all starts in the gut. And I love what you said about like the body doesn't know what to do with it, doesn't know how to metabolize them. That's why these are no calories, because the body doesn't know what to do with it, but it triggers gut issues. It triggers sugar cravings. It's actually shown to make you eat more because your body's tasting something sweet and then there's nothing being processed. And so it's like we need food. Like you've woken up hunger, but there's no food. And so you eat more when you drink diet soda or any of these sugar-free things. Like this is hardcore science and studies have shown. Like we don't want to hear it, but it's true.
And even your favorite things, like we have some examples out here for our class. Like, I mean, you think this is healthy, and I love Kodiak, you guys. I
Yeah.
love it. I think it's a great alternative to some of the things out there, but that doesn't mean it's the healthiest option. And
Yeah.
we're going to talk about that in our masterclass, because that would take we would be here for an hour and a half, which is
I
why we
know.
masterclass.
I know.
But if you read your labels and ask questions,
Yeah.
send us DMs, send other people that do what we do DMs. Ask Chatty Cathy.
Yeah, Chatty Cathy. Yeah, I was telling someone the other day that we're calling it Chatty Cathy. I mean, even in some spices. So I have this for taco seasoning. Like, what is even in your taco seasoning?
Yeah.
Like oils, sugar, stuff that like, I mean, you don't want to make your own. That's fine. There's other ones out there, but if you don't read your labels on every single thing these days, even a product you love, because that can change too, yeah, there's just so much that we can talk about. So we just want to give like a little broad overview, but we really want to talk about the sugar free because we're seeing people who can't lose as much weight as they would like to if they were just not having sugar versus these sugar free things that are causing bloat and gut issues and sugar cravings, so they're actually eating more. It's just it's a whole cycle.
It is. It really is. And, coming on here right before our masterclass, one of the things that we wanted to make sure to mention is a golden nugget that you guys can actually use today. Go
Yeah.
look in your pantry. Go look in your fridge. Now, I'm not saying you have to throw everything out.
Yeah.
Someone do that on
Yeah.
one. I started working with them like 10 years ago. She was a new client, and we went through her kitchen. We did a kitchen revamp.
Yeah. Oh,
And I told her, I was like, just finish up what's in your kitchen. Don't feel like you have to
yeah.
destroy and destruct everything because you're on a budget.
Yeah.
All of us are on budgets, right?
Yeah.
So eliminating everything in your kitchen is not helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, and without guilt. I'm a big fan of that too. Finish what you already have. Unless you're one of those people that's like ready to clean the slate, but most of us aren't. It's too drastic, it's too overwhelming. So as you finish one product, you replace it with something healthier.
Ex- exactly. And it can get so expensive doing that. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
think about it. Here's a good example a lot of us would understand. What happens when you move?
Oh
You have to clean out your kitchen
yeah.
because a lot of things in the fridge and the freezer won't make it to the new house. Whatever your new home is, it won't make it. So you've got to basically start over.
Yeah.
And what
Mhm.
happens? Do you remember first moving out? Like,
Oh my
that was
gosh.
really expensive. When I moved cross country,
Oh
um,
yeah.
that was my big wake up call. Like moving several states away, giving
Yeah.
up everything, leaving just with my car,
Yeah.
nothing else, just my car and my dog. I took my dog. um, it was, so eye opening the amount of things that I gave up.
Mhm. Yeah, we did too. And then we were waiting for our pots, pans, and everything to come and what you're eating in the meantime. But yeah, that was expensive too. Like that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, so don't feel like you need to throw everything out. This is just so that, like we said, you can start replacing slowly um, as you're on your journey. That's kind of what it's all about. It's a journey, everyone. It doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, we all live very long lives.
Yeah.
Majority of us do, at least. So, I mean, you're not eating healthy so that you can avoid the end. You're eating healthy so that you can enjoy every moment that you're here,
Yeah.
as much as possible, at least.
Yeah.
Like I'm not eating healthy just because it's the thing to do.
Yeah.
I like my lifestyle. I like the foods that I eat because of how it makes me feel.
Hmm.
If I don't feel good, I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind. Pay attention to how you're feeling as you're eating those foods and you're getting rid of them, because that will help you avoid going backward.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So yay. So for anyone that wants to join us on the masterclass, we're going to be doing that in a few minutes. Or if you want the replay or have questions, please reach out to us. We love to answer questions.
Exactly.
Yay. Okay, awesome. See you soon.
Bye, guys.